In order for me to achieve a flawless face, I usually use a lot of moisturizer because especially now since I'm in Texas, it's a lot hotter over here, and I noticed that lately my skin has been peeling like as if I had like really dry skin. I don't usually have dry skin. I usually have like combination to oily. Ever since I moved out here, my skin has been changing a lot more, so I've been using a brand new moisturizer. I use the CeraVe moisturizing lotion for normal to dry skin, and this is how it looks. Like the lighting is not even giving any help for it. There you go. So that's the one that I use, and it's the 8 fluid ounces, and it's been really good. Like it's been helping with my dryness. It doesn't feel really heavy, and I like that about moisturizers. I don't like a heavy moisturizer because I feel like I already have a layer of foundation even though it's not foundation. I don't like heavy things on my face. I like a lightweight feeling. Also for my under eyes, I have been using an eye cream lately because I noticed that it looks dry under my eyes, and especially when it looks like a little, you know, little dots under your eyes. So I've been using this Olay eye cream. It's the Olay Age Define eye cream, and it comes in a small little tube. It's white, and it feels really moisturizing under the eyes, and you can use it in daytime and nighttime, even before you go to sleep. It just makes your eyes feel plump. So I've been using that lately, and so far I like it. It's not bad. I am gonna get the one from Bobbi Brown, so that one I heard really good things about. Okay, so for my lips, to keep them hydrated throughout the whole time I'm doing my foundation, I use the Lip Soul Be Smooth lip balm. I've heard so many good things about this from Holly Eat Lipstick. I love her videos, and she's been raving about this, and no lie, it's good. Like, she was not lying when she said this was awesome, because it feels like, even though if you have cracked lips, or I don't want to say cracked lips, if your lips are peeling, or if you feel that you really need a good moisturizing lip balm, then get this one, because after you apply it, it feels like you've never had any chapped lips or dehydrating lips, and I like that about this. So this is really good. I am gonna get like 2 more. My husband loves this, so I'm gonna get 2 more of these. They are awesome. I usually put on a primer, but lately I have been trying different kind of primers, and I haven't found the one where it's like that's the one that I really love. So I have been using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Beauty Balm. It really doesn't do much, as people say, but I like the fact that it helps with your skin, and it makes your skin youthful and young, from what it says on here. And on top of that, like, it gets rid of the redness on my face, and I like that about this. And I haven't been using it as often, which I should, because it does give me good results. And it has like SPF 20, so if you're not a big fan of sunscreen, then don't try this. But I usually put this on, and when I take pictures, I don't really do a lot of flash photos, so I have been using this lately, and I put this on top of my moisturizer, and it gives me like a even skin tone, you know what I mean? So now I have been addicted to this foundation. I've heard this from Melissa Autry, and she's been talking about it in the past videos, and I needed to pick it up because of the hype about it, and she sold me on it. I have been loving this lately. It just gives so much coverage for just the foundation. Like, I don't know, it's just so amazing. If you're not the type to buy a foundation that's really expensive, if you feel like it's not worth the hype, or you just can't afford it, or you're not sure of getting it, believe me, get this. You should definitely get it because it's worth the money. I got it. It did hurt to get it, but it was really worth getting it, because instantly when I put it on my hand, it just covered up whatever I had on my hand. Like, it was so good coverage. So definitely, I love this foundation, and I got this one in the shade Buff. This one is the Real Technique Sponge, and it was only $4 to $5, I believe, at my Ulta, and it's amazing. At first I didn't feel like I was doing it right, or I didn't know how to really apply it. I've seen videos on it, but I just never really was a big fan of the sponge because I love my brushes. I love my foundation brushes. I didn't want to like cheat on them with a sponge. So I got the sponge and I've been using it lately, and I've been using it right. And now that I see I've been using it right, I've been falling in love with it. And it just gives you the most flawless finish. It feels like I don't have any foundation on my face. Like, you can tell when someone has foundation and it's sitting there, and then when someone blends it out really well and their foundation looks really flawless. Like, they have makeup, but you can't really tell they have makeup at the same time from far away. And that's what this beauty blender does. Like, I don't want to say beauty blender, Real Technique sponge. That's what it does. And I heard the beauty blender does the same thing. I believe it does it better because people rave about it and they say many good things about it. But I love using that if I don't want to use my brushes. I feel like with this kind of foundation, you need a sponge to blend it out. As you can tell, I do have high pigmentation under my eyes, which is dark circles, and I do need a lot more coverage than certain people that have dark circles, and it's not even that serious. But mine, I feel like they are serious. In order for me to cover up my dark circles, I use the Ben 9 Media Pro concealer. It's like a color corrector, and it's in the shade Burnt Orange, and it's an orange concealer. Orange concealer, what it does, it camouflages anything that has to do with high pigmentation or, you know, dark circles. So I use the burnt orange because my dark circles are dark. The orange does camouflage all of that. So you can use salmon if you are a light shade like as I am. I'm going to take this brush and I'm only going to focus where the dark circles do pop. So if that's in the inner corner and a little bit into where it kind of shows, like right there. I cover that up, and I only put a little bit because I don't need a lot, but if you want to put a lot, that's on you. You can do that. I don't do it all the way because what happens is if you cover the whole entire eye, it's not going to do any justice. So you want to just focus on the area where usually a lot of people will get dark circles and it does show. You don't want it to see through in pictures, especially in your foundation. So you want to cover up them dark circles really good. So I did a little far, but I look crazy right now. But hey, it works, you know. You'll thank me later when you try this method. I'm going to use 2 concealers. Actually 3, but 2 of them I mix together. It's the Maybelline Master Concealer and the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC20. I only use a little pump like this, and then I do the same thing for the Master Concealer. And I just mix those shades together. They both are pink and yellow undertones. So I'm gonna put some where I want to hide the dark circles. Just slap it on there. And then I like to bring it out because I like the highlight look that everybody does. But hey, it looks nice, so I like doing it. I like to have that brightness under my eyes, especially with, you know, since I have dark circles, I want to cover it up. You want to focus on the inner corner because that's the most that seeps through when you're covering dark circles. I go in with the Real Technique sponge and I just dab. That's all I really do. And it does give you like a flawless finish under your eyes. And you want to dab lightly because you don't want to mess up the concealer or move it around. Especially the orange concealer, you don't want to move that. So you just want to go dab it, like bounce it up and down. See how I covered that up really good? The magic of makeup. Okay, so that's all I do. I just use a orange concealer to camouflage any dark circles, and then I use a concealer. You can use a concealer that is your skin tone or 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, and then just, you know, apply it right under your eyes, and then you just blend it out. That's all I do. For the third concealer, I like to use the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer in the shade Light Pale, and I only use this for the inner corner because I do want to brighten up the inner corner, so I just do that. It's really lightweight. I don't really like a heavy concealer. The only one that I can tolerate is the MAC Pro Long Wear concealer, but this one's really light. It's really great. Like, if you can even use this alone if you wanted to. Alright, so now I'm just gonna work on one side because I like to work fast when it comes to setting my makeup. So what I use to set my makeup is my NYC Smooth Skin Powder and translucent, and I like to use this little wedge sponge that I just got from Target. Like, they come in a big pack. So what I do is, like, I blend out really lightly my concealer, and I make sure I get under there because I do get creasing under the eyes. So I like to work fast because I don't want to get any crease lines, and it just looks really bad when you like have these crease lines. So what I do is I do that really fast, and then what I do is I take some of the translucent powder and I dab and pat under my eyes. And I don't use a lot because the translucent is really light, so it does cover enough. Not cover, but it does set the concealer really nicely. Okay, so that's set. I do the same thing for the other side. I blend out my concealer, and I do it really lightly too because I don't want to like smudge the concealer and move it everywhere. Okay, so I do that, and then I take the translucent and then I just pat it under my eyes. And I want to get whatever residue off from my lid because I do get creasing up there. So I just kind of blend it out. And don't worry about it because, you know, when you put on eye makeup, you can just blend it out with the primer or the eyeshadow base. Now, if you really want to get a really good coverage, and if you're that kind of person who wants a full heavy duty coverage, then use a powder foundation instead of a regular powder. So I use the Double Duty powder foundation from Ulta, and this is awesome. I love it. It's good coverage for a powder foundation, and I don't even use it everywhere. I just use it in the areas that I really want to cover the most, like my under eyes, because I don't want to have that white cast from the translucent powder. And then I do my forehead, since I did put concealer there. I put some around my nose because I do get this blotchiness like after from blending so much of the concealer. And then I put some under my lip, well, under my nose and under my lip. So I just put it lightly and I just kind of press on it because I don't want to move the foundation everywhere. I like a little bit of highlight, a little brightness under my eyes, so I use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Light, and I just put it under my eyes, not too much because you don't want to cake on under your eyes. Especially when you smile, you get that cakey look where it's like you see all your lines. In order for me not to have that cakey powdery look on my face, I use the makeup mist and set from e.l.f. And even though it charges and like sprays really hard, I just back up and I spray it, and it does give my face like a breather because of how much makeup I have on my face, and it just makes the makeup look more flawless like that. Okay guys, so this is pretty much the finished look. I am so happy that I did this video because a lot of you were asking me how do I achieve such a flawless foundation look, and this is pretty much my routine on how I do it, and especially with the magic of the sponge, this is how I do it. And you can also do the same thing with a brush, but I just prefer with a sponge. And if you are going to use a brush, then do the brush and then just finish it off by dabbing your foundation with the sponge, so that way it can just seep into your skin nicely and it just looks really like a good finished look. If you have any comments down below on the foundation routine, then let me know. I'll be happy to answer you guys. And if you have anything else that you would like for me to try out, or you do recommend for me to try, then let me know and I'm willing to try it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.